Are sleeping.
God damn it, you little retarded. Okay. So, everyone, welcome to Masculine Geek, number 111, the live stream D&D session number 16. This one's brought to you unofficially brought to you by Core 3 Brewery in New Jersey. This is called Nevermore, and this is a black ale. So, let me take a sip of this. Hang on. That's fucking delicious.
And devil.
So, cheers. There you go. Cheers. So, without further...
product placement. There we go.
Product placement. What is that?
Devil Mountain Coffee.
Devil Mountain Coffee. We got Devil Mountain Coffee, black ale, whatever TJ's drinking, and whatever Drew is drinking. All right. So, without further ado, Dungeon Master Raul Tomasi, take it away.
All right. So, last time we left off, you guys had gained another party member who is the Halfling Blodgett, and is just going to give you what was it on last week's episode? Previously on Masculine Geek. So you met Blodgett. Blodgett is sort of you don't really know what to make of Blodgett just yet. He is a halfling. He is a little bit, I don't want to say egocentric, but he certainly has he thinks a lot of himself. Let's just say that. So you guys have decided to carry on and push forward to the Slaver Stockade, which is about 120 miles from Highport, from where you're at. So I have to kind of give you guys, I'm just going to give you a rough idea just by, telling you this. Right now you are in Highport. Highport is on the coast of the Woolly Bay. So the area that you are in right now, the greater area that you're in, is called the Peninsula of Pomarge. And so if you where you'll be traveling to is the Drakensgrab Hills, and it's, like I said, it's about 120 miles there. So as it stands right now, you've gone through the last, say, 30 miles of about it's mostly plains lands, like scrub lands and plains lands. You are traveling almost due south this time, and you realize that that if you keep going far enough, you'll end up in the Azure Sea, which is the opposite side of the peninsula that you are on right now. But between you and the opposite side of the peninsula is the Drakensgrab Hills, and now you are entering into the Drakensgrab Hills, and you've had about you got about another 60 miles to go, according to Duncan. And Duncan is, like I said, Duncan's escaped from this stockade and has been telling you a little bit about it and what you guys can expect along the way. So you've been camping, here and there, uneventful throughout the plains lands, but now you are getting into the hills area, and it is kind of a forested area. It is, let's see, what do we say was getting up on, the rainy season. And so it's you're dealing with a little bit of mist, usually a little bit of rain for most of the day, and then the rest of the day it's pretty much cleared. And so you guys have been traveling through the Drakensgrab Hills, and Duncan is also a little bit concerned because there are what he called the hill people are up there. And he also informs you that the stockade itself is patrolled, or there are guards there that are hobgoblins, primarily hobgoblins. So the orcs you were dealing with back in Highport, it's not that there won't be likely be orcs ahead, but he said that the fort itself is staffed or is guarded by mainly hobgoblins, and perhaps some smaller humanoids, like maybe goblins or even larger ones, like, say, bugbears or something like that as well. So usually, the guy, as Aldemar knows, is that when it comes to orcs and goblins and hobgoblins and bugbears, they are all part of the goblinoid families. So you know what you're looking for already as a result of that. You also,
all goblins are like that.
Quick reminder. Also, Duncan is looking for Lady Morwen Elisar. Yeah, Lady Morwen Elisar, who's a noblewoman that he was sent to go and try to, escape, to rescue, but he ended up becoming a slave as a result of that. So he is broken out of the stockade. However, you guys are right now. You're about I'd say you got about another 30 miles to go. So you're looking at probably 10 miles a day. You got about another 3 days, maybe 4 days, depending on if you're going to have to do some scouting. So in the mornings, you kind of travel away from the main road, because that is actually the main caravan road, and you don't want to be seen. You don't want to be spotted. So that's the other thing that both Duncan as well as Blodgett have been informing you, is that you don't want to alert any of the patrols. Now, you haven't seen anything other than the occasional hill people that live up in the hills, and they kind of they're cautiously aware of where you are. Aldemar, you being the ranger and doing the scouting ahead, you've seen them, but then they kind of disappear into the underbrush of the mountainsides that you are, the hillsides that you are moving into. Again, heavily forested, and lots of underbrush as well. So with that in mind, I'll let you guys ask a few questions. You guys, if you're curious about anything, we can sort of cover that right now. Again, you're about let's just say 3 days out from where the stockade is, according to Duncan. Oh, also, Duncan has equipped himself up. I don't know if you guys remember, but the assassin / thief that you guys killed in the last adventure had a good set of leather armor that Duncan is now wearing. So
nice.
We're just going to give that to him. You guys also, Drew, I believe it's you, and I don't know who else has those really fine long swords that you taken off of the.
We both had one, but didn't he give it? Not just
he had
give
one.
it to Aldemar?
I know you had one. Aldemar has another one, I believe.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure we knew where those things were, because those are pretty finely made weapons. Now, you've determined that they're non-magical, but they are very well fashioned, and probably not fashioned by dwarves or humans. Let's just put it that way.
So maybe of elven origin or gnomish.
Something that you're not familiar with, but they look very, very finely made. From what you know of dwarves, these are far too refined for them.
Too fancy and baroque, not practical. And
right.
All right.
So Duncan is using that hammer that you handed off to him, Grot. So he'll be using that for the time being.
It's a +1 hammer for him too. So.
Yeah, and he's armed himself up a little bit. He's got that hammer. He's got a small metal shield now, and a bit of a helmet as well. So that's what he's got. A little bit of a pack. He was able to restock a little bit while you were down there in Highport as well before you guys took off. You also notice that Blodgett carries with him a fairly sizable pack. And he also has what looks like a cloak or a cape of some sorts that's wrapped around him as well. He has lots of little trinkets kind of hanging off of this backpack as well. Some look like tools, some look like little picks. You can some of them like little forceps kind of things. So there's lots of little things that are attached to his backpack as well. So as it stands right now, it is early morning, and you guys are just sort of waking up, and Aldemar, you are on scout duty and guard duty, and you haven't seen anything out of the ordinary for a while. However, let's see. Actually, do me a perception check real quick, Aldemar.
I was just about to say.
If you do it for me.
So 16. I need to memorize this stuff. So total 21.
21. Okay. You notice that there's various streams around here. There's probably places you could fish if you need to get food. There are also, you've noticed that there is some game around here as well, like some like mule deer and things like that. Possibly. Let me see. All right, you don't notice any kind of bear dung or any kind of nothing large like that, but you have noticed what look like hoof marks in the mud around, quite a few actually, and they're too small to be mule deer.
But I don't see any actual animals.
Well, you see the occasional mule deer. You can hear them.
Okay.
Great.
How close is
what you find?
I just see mule deer.
They taste good.
I've eaten worse. Come on now, venison's good. Ask me how I know. Drew, I'll take you next. Is Lupo has been really sort of absorbed with what is left of that book, the half of that book that he found, and he's sort of been picking through it, and he's learned quite a bit of, I guess, lore, let's just say, from this book of this surrounding area, and the sea goddess whose name you can't quite manage to figure out which one it is at this point. And he's learned a few basic little cantrips out of the book.
Good. Out of the book or from me? I was going to say, I'd like to spend time.
I was going to say you can too. So he's. I don't want to say he's a he's trying to be. It's like he's ready to go to seminary school because he's still kind of like, but he's very absorbed with this book. And other than that, he has been learning from you, and he's been learning from Duncan a little bit. So he at least knows how to like swing a hammer this time.
Good.
So he's still hanging out with you, and he's like, he can't believe his luck that he's with you, that he's still with you guys right now, that they're still alive after all that.
His luck that we let him come with, or that he's not dead.
Well, that both actually. So
yes,
yeah. So you guys are you're in the Drakensfeld, or excuse me, the Drakensgrab Hills right now. And just sort of breaking camp and getting ready to move further in. Duncan explains to you that you're going to have to be careful from here on out because patrols are probably going to be at least this far out, if not like where you're at, certainly from where you're moving into. He's trying to explain to you like what the stockade looks like, at least from what he can remember, because he escaped at night. And he's not really super familiar with it. He can give you like basic ideas of where certain things are. He also mentions, Duncan mentions, he says, I managed to escape out of the guard wall, or the retainer wall, and by walking around a balcony of some sorts to get to the guardhouse, and then he made a rope out of curtains and clothes so he could sort of lower himself out of the tower. And so he's only familiar with like maybe the front of this stockade. So take that as you will. So you're probably going to be looking for, you'll be seeing the stockade at some point along this way. But right now, like I said, you're about 3 days out.
What do we know about the hill people in the area? Are they friendly? Are they neutral? Do they have any? How are they with the hobgoblins?
Well, from what? Let's see. Aldemar, actually, give me a wisdom check on that. Aldemar would know more, probably more so than Duncan would.
I'll wait.
No, not with that roll.
What'd you got?
Bad. 4 total.
Okay, so Aldemar doesn't know too much about it. Let's see. Blodgett understands that goblins and hobgoblins don't get along too well with humans as it is to begin with. However, it's not unknown for them to collaborate. Obviously, like strong humans can pretty much enslave hobgoblins if they put their minds to it. But from what Aldemar knows, just lore-wise, is that the hill people that are here are kind of like they're primitives. They're not like cavemen or anything like that, but they're just sort of primitives that live in the hills. And it would stand to reason, let's just say, that they wouldn't get along too well with the hobgoblins.
Maybe, and this is Gray talking with Aldemar, maybe we ought to approach these hill people, see if we could possibly trade some tools for information, see what they know. Maybe they might be able to provide us with some useful information, or maybe assist us in infiltrating this place.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of things will we trade? Will we have to trade?
Oh, anything that would make their lives easier would probably be valuable. Knives, hatchets, with fire steel.
Would they take a half orc?
Take a half orc. Not an ugly one.
Nah, Grot, you're spared.
No offense.
All right,
Greg, clean up well.
Right. Let's go approach them in a friendly manner and see if we can. I guess what do we want to get out of this?
First off,
they can tell us.
First off, Blodgett has been telling you that although you are technically following the route that's on the map. If you guys remember the map that you guys picked up from the previous adventure, you're trying to stay away from the main road or the main passage through because you don't want to draw too much attention to yourself. You're still trying to stay secretive as possible. Remember, this is a clandestine sort of infiltration kind of thing, and you're not going to you don't want to walk up to the front of the stockade and say, "Hey, let me in." So let's see. Let me and forward. All right. So as you are sort of working your way through the hills along, and still keeping the road within sight, so you know where you're at, or the passageway. I don't really want to call it a road. It's really just sort of a trail at this point. You notice humanoids around you every once in a while. Aldemar, you're the only one that really knows where they are, because as soon as Grot and as soon as Gray sort of are like kind of looking around, you're the only one who's really able to sort of see them before they sort of fade back into the foliage.
I can cast tongues on Aldemar, which would grant him the ability to understand any spoken language he hears, and when he speaks, any creature that knows at least one language and can hear him understands what he says.
That's a good idea. You could do that.
I'm going to cast tongues on Aldemar so he can speak with them.
You've been tongued, Aldemar.
All right.
Okay. I don't know what the duration of that is, but we'll just
1 hour.
It's 1 hour. Okay, so you could go hunting around for them if you want to go see if you can sneak up on some of them or try to get as close as you can.
Okay.
The other guys are going to have to stick together as you kind of peel off from the main group. If that's what you want to.
Yeah, I'd like to roll for stealth.
Okay.
God damn
Put that anywhere. It's okay.
22.
22.
Jesus.
Well, you think you're very stealthy at this point.
Noisy.
You're hiding in shadows. You do, as you're being stealthy, you come up on a group. You begin to sort of smell something cooking, some sort of fire ahead of you, which is strange because you weren't able to pick this scent up before.
Bacon.
Could be because some kind of meat is cooking. You're not really sure what kind of meat it is.
Cooking meat.
And as you move up closer, I presume, to where you're smelling the source, you see a group of 7 hillmen around what looks like a very quickly put together fire. It is in the late afternoon. It is very cool, so you're cool enough that you can see your breath in the forest right now. They don't know that you are there right now, Aldemar. Again, you're off on your own at this point, so the others are closer up towards where the passageway is. So in front of you, you see 7 of them. Let's see. You notice, yeah, you do, that they have what look like want to say looted weapons of some sort. They don't look like they're not made of wood. They look like they're like maybe orc or goblin in nature. So they have spears. Most of them actually of the 7, 4 of them have spears. The other ones have like short swords, and maybe what looks like the leader has something that looks like a chopper or an axe of some kind. And they're sitting around what looks like could be let's say rabbit of some sort, like a small animal is cooking, and they're talking around the fire right now.
So am I close enough to where I can hear them?
Let's see. Do a perception check.
I'll keep it on the desk this time. There we go. So 19.
19. Okay, good enough. You can pick up a little bit of what they're saying, because the tongues spell that you have right now is allowing you to interpret what sounds like sort of a pigeon version of common tongue. And they are talking about the newcomers in the forest, or like intruders in the forest. That's about as much as you can make of it. And you're not sure if they're referring to you guys or someone else at this point. And the information that they need to take back to what you think is their main group or their main tribe of some sort. Most of them are in hide armor as well, and you now notice that it's not necessarily leather, but it looks like it's made of like skins of maybe, I don't know, deer or something with some kind of hide armor.
Well, I'd rather not alert them to my presence.
Good idea. Unless you have the rest of us.
It's like, yeah, is there a way to call Gray over to my area without alerting the...
You would have to go back to where he is if you wanted to do that.
Okay, so I'm going to head back to where Gray is.
Okay.
And I'm going to say to him, so there's a group up there. They're talking about newcomers, strangers, whatever. Don't know if they're referring to us or someone else. But, you know, I think that all 3 of us going together is better than one of us at this point.
Okay.
Because
you said they were. What were they doing when you found them?
they were just eating. They were
Smell
cooking.
meat.
Yeah.
Do we have anything to offer them? Any food? A gift, perhaps? I'm sure that we'd be more welcome to join them if we had something to.
Ale.
Do we have,
Ale.
yeah. Do we have any ale? Do we have any ale?
Grot have extra ale.
Okay. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Who could turn that down?
Good point.
Okay. So Grot, give me the ale.
Have ale. So it's an ale sack.
Ale sack. Okay, ale sack. So we're gonna go up. So Gray, you be prepared for trouble, and Grot, you be prepared for trouble. We're all gonna go up together. I'm gonna offer them a drink. See how they respond. So I guess we all head up carefully. Like, we're not running our way up there, but we're kind of walking, but clear that we're not. Like,
We're not
trying to be.
we're not making any hostile gestures.
We're not trying to. We're not.
Like,
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're making it clear that we want our presence to be known.
Okay, you get back to where the campfire was, where the small fire was, and you see that it's out now, but the food that they'd left there is still kind of cooking. They never really took it off of the fire. It looks like a small pig, actually. Now,
They would not have abandoned the food, so they might be still nearby, maybe waiting to watch and see what we do. We could call out to them, let them know that we've come to share our ale and stories. Share ale.
I'm gonna hand the ale over to Grot, and I'm going to put my hands up and say, call in a very loud voice, "We're not here to cause trouble. We're here to offer a drink."
In their language, the one you could.
In their language. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good enough.
We're to talk.
As you do that, you notice that there is a very sharp spear pointed right at your neck that you didn't see there before. and the tribesmen who were there suddenly come out of camouflage, and you didn't even realize they were standing next to the trees or next to the shrubbery or the shrubbery.
A shrubbery.
Or the plant, the foliage right there. They just sort of like melt out of the foliage, and they're like,
is it a bi-level shrubbery?
"What you want? Why are you in the hills?"
Says, we're here to offer you ale.
Okay, the one with the axe, the larger of the 7, comes up to you and kind of sniffs at the ale a little bit.
Grat holds out the sack of ale.
Okay, so he snatches it from you and then kind of takes a drink from it. And he goes,
"Good ale."
Yeah, so he nods at you and then throws it back to you, Grat.
No, this for you. You keep.
All right, so he picks it back up and takes it from him. He says, "What do you need? Why are you here?"
Warm fire, be nice and talk.
Well, they won't understand you. Just
okay. They look at you like all the rest of them, and now they're not like tribesmen, like I mean, they're just hill people.
Booga.
They're hillbillies.
Yeah.
Hillbillies.
medieval.
Yes, it's like Dungeons and Dragons Deliverance. So,
wait for the hard yeet twang.
Yeah.
Lupo to stay close.
That would explain the pig, right?
Yeah, exactly. Squirrel. So, anyways, they do speak a bit, just a smattering of Common. That's sort of kind of a half version of their own language and a half version of Common tongue. So the rest of you can sort of pick up every like third word that they're speaking. Aldemar, you understand it because you have the whole thing. Right. You can speak their language at this point. And so they're looking at you, and one of them goes. And one of them is very cautious of you with a spear, and he's pointing it out. He says, "These are slavers." He thinks you guys are slavers. He thinks that you like with them and take prisoners from their people, their tribe.
And I say, it's actually the exact opposite. We are here seeking to hunt those people down, and all we ask of you is just being able to talk and possibly trade some of what we have for some of what you want.
Mm-hmm. Does Grat hear the talk? The guy mentioned that this fucker mentioned slavers.
Yes, he thinks that we're slavers.
Yeah,
Grat's going to go off on a little rant. So he's like, put up with all this shit, slavers captured, flung all over the place, poisoned, fart smoke, all kinds of shit. Magic using dwarves and small people running all over. Grat thrown all over the place. Grat know where he go.
So
trees come down. We know slavers.
They're cautious of you. The leader seems to like put the spear away, and he looks over at Lupo, and he reaches out to Lupo, and he grabs the trident pendant that's on his neck right now. And he goes, "You're not with this one, not slavers." And he looks at you, Gray, and says, "This one, not slaver." But he can tell you're a holy man. He's like, "You shaman."
We've actually come to learn about the slavers so we can stop them from taking travelers.
Okay, so the leader tends to trust you. He seems like he trusts you a little bit. So he tells you whereabouts they are further up, which basically you already know where the stockade is. So it explains to you about the stockade, and also explains that there are patrols in this area. So you're going to have to be very careful of hobgoblin patrols. And then he mentions that sometimes they are accompanied by what he says, big hobgoblins, big goblins.
Oh, bugbears.
Yeah.
They smell.
So through Aldemar, I tell him I am a healer, and that if they would tell us what they know about these hobgoblins and the big ones, that I would gladly come to their homes and heal their wounded and sick if they have any.
Ask him how we get into stockade secretly.
Yeah, well, he says that the stockade is okay. So what you can get out of him right now is that the best time to approach the stockade, to even look at it, or to get up that close, you have to go at night. because during the daytime you will definitely be seen. Let's see. Let me see what else I can get. What else can I get?
How many there are?
List. Okay. And Duncan already knows this, but he could, the leader of the hill people confirms this for you. Duncan says that they are the hobgoblins are very superstitious lot. They're a very superstitious lot.
Okay.
Cowardly and superstitious lot.
Yeah, superstitious as in like they're very afraid of undead or ghosts and things like that. As you guys are aware, actually, because you already know that the orcs were very scared of, like, say, the undead that were in that graveyard that you guys came out of as well. So they're very superstitious. They believe the spirits haunt the stockade, and they're afraid of the spirits that are in the stockade. So that's let me see. Okay, so that's one. Let me give you the other ones. Okay, they explain to you that the stockade itself is impenetrable. You can't get into it. There's no way you would be able to get in there, because every one of their people that have been taken by the slavers they've never come out. And they don't know what they do with them. Hold on, Gray, I need you to give me a wisdom check.
Okay. Let's see, 16, and I think my wisdom modifier, I should have all this here. Is +4, so 20.
Okay, so 20. You, from what you can make of their language and through Aldemar, they're saying that they have seen what look like unnatural things, unnatural men. That's the best way you can translate what they're saying. Like they're corrupted men or corrupted things. Some of their tribesmen go in, and the ones that they have seen later have become distorted or have become monsters.
Can I ask them to describe how they have changed, how they've become monstrous?
Unnatural in that they have they have like more arms than a man should have, and they have claws. They look like a man, but they're not a man.
Those ant things.
Some of them think that some of the other tribesmen call them demons, but if you're not, it's demon or it's monster. You can't really tell.
them ant things. Those ant men that we fought in tunnels. What wrong? You look perplexed.
I'm wondering if they can tell that it's them, but they've changed, then it's probably not the Ant-Men, because that would be too different.
Let me
thinking they're
do another thing.
I think we need to ask them to clarify.
Well, Duncan kind of is listening to this as this is going on, because he's the only one of your party that's been in the stockade before, and he says, there were rumors of unnatural experiments from Marquesa in this stockade. I never saw any of it, but there were rumors amongst the other slaves that they were doing unnatural things to them.
Not good. That gross.
Unnatural in what way?
Unnatural in that they were taken down into the lower levels, and he says you never want to hear that scream again.
It sounds like we need to be exploring lower levels and find out what's going on down there.
I concur.
Or at least find somebody else who's gotten out who might know more. They mentioned that they've seen some people. Have any of them escaped?
None that were not corrupted. Put it that way.
Have the corrupted gotten out, and are they in any condition that we would be able to find and speak with them?
No. They any of the corrupted ones that come out, they put down, they kill. of their own number.
Oh.
That's not good.
Do you want to ask them anything else? Anything in particular? Anything specific? They're looking like they're about to move back into the forest and go back to wherever their tribe is.
Is there a secret way into Stockade?
Well,
Like
Duncan,
not in front door.
The only way he knows in is through the way he came out. He says, with any luck, my rope will still be there.
We try that. Grad not know. Grad at loss for words.
I have one more question, and that is whether there's any dangerous wildlife in the area that we ought to know about, or that we might be able to use to our advantage against these slavers.
Other than he says he doesn't know he's kind of having a trouble, understanding what you mean as far as wildlife. He says, you mean like the patrols? Do you mean the
are there any dangerous animals that we should be aware of, or that we might be able to turn against the slavers? I'm thinking of a pit trap with a dangerous animal in along the path that
he explains. All he does is run down a list of animals that are you asked about animals, so he's just saying, there are mule deer, there are bears, there are boars, there are the birds. He just starts rattling off a bunch of animals that you would find in the forest. He's not whether or not they're particularly dangerous or not. He does mention that there are wolves as well. So
all the usual suspects.
Aldemar, do you think it would be practical for us to set a trap, an ambush for these patrols? Maybe interrogate one of the hobgoblins directly?
It's possible. We would just have to plan it very carefully, because the key is we want one of them alive. And I'm good at killing. Keeping them alive is kind of I'm not used to leaving my enemy alive.
Well, as long as they're not completely dead, I can heal them just enough that we would be able to get information from them.
I tap my sword and say, I'll see what I can do.
So
what are your thoughts?
Mostly dead is okay. Not completely.
Because once he's dead, there's only one thing you could do. Go through his pocket and look for loose change, right?
Dead.
So at about that time where you guys are having this conversation, they look at each other as if they hear something, and then they bolt from that area and move and practically melt into the forest, like disappear into the forest from where you guys were at.
Is that meat still in the spit?
Yeah, it is, but the fire's out.
I'm gonna eat the meat.
Okay.
So
it is. It's a kind of small to medium size, like pig or wild pig of some sorts that's on there.
Bacon, good. Grad feast.
Mm-hmm.
Grad hungry.
If you want,
I'll eat it. Grad eat it.
Okay, so it's getting on towards the evening here. You probably got at least another 2 days ahead of you. What do you want to do? Do you want to just stay where you're at, and have a camp, or what would you like to do?
What time of the evening is it? And how are we tired? I mean, is it
late evening? You guys have been traveling. Remember, you guys can basically do about because you're not on horseback right now, because you can't go through the foliage with horses from where you're at. So, at least not without giving away your position. So. You can probably do roughly 10 to 12 miles per day.
Grad tired. Grad vote for camp. This good place.
It's a clearing. It's a circle in the forest there. If you want to, that is.
Grad finish meet and take first watch.
Because you want to set camp here.
I pull out my pipe and start packing the tobacco into it, and you want to hang out here? All right.
I asked Lupo to demonstrate the cantrip he's been working on.
Okay, so
progress and correct it.
All right, so you guys are gonna camp, spend the night here.
Yeah.
So Duncan sets up his, gets himself ready, just sack out and everything. And Blodgett is there too. Blodgett is sort of. It looks like he's a little bit kind of bored. Blodgett has 2 daggers and he's got 1 short sword. And the short sword he rarely brings out, but the daggers he kind of spins on the palm of his hands every once in a while. And he kind of fidgets a lot. Like he's got little trinkets. Like I said, he's got little trinkets and stuff that are on his backpack. Some of them are just like little ornaments, and some of them look like tools. And so he kind of is noodling around with these things. Every once in a while, he reads from like a very small book, like a little teeny tiny. Oh, he's got a halfling anyway, so little book. And so Lupo shows you some of the cantrips that he knows, just like produce flame and some of these other little things that he's picking up from the book, and a few from you as well. And later on in the evening, then he's also kind of works out a little bit with Duncan as well. So it's now evening. Do you guys want to start fire? What do you want to do? And Aldemar, you're the one I need to know the most from, because you're the one who is most sensitive to the surroundings and the environment where you're at.
Fucking Paul Bunyan.
I'm wondering about the fire, if there is hobgoblin patrol.
All right, so what am I rolling for?
Give me we need to do a lore check. So give me a wisdom check from where you're at.
Grat's gonna light the fire. He says,
Oh.
"Fuck it."
Okay.
Bitchin'.
God damn it!
Damn
2.
it, Bobby.
God damn it, Bobby.
I rolled a 20.
That's pretty good.
Okay, so what you notice is you're kind of looking above at you, above at the trees and stuff. Is you notice that there is a small, what looks like a hawk of some kind. Do you know what a Cooper's hawk is? Have you ever seen a Cooper's hawk? Cooper's hawk is like a small. It's almost like a kit falcon, but it's like a small hawk, and it seems to be following you ever since we got into the hills. You're just now kind of realizing that this thing has been. It seems like it's the same one. You're not sure, but it sure looks like it could be the same one.
What you look at, Aldemar?
Let's say, okay, so it flits up to a tree that's not far from you, and it's perched pretty high above. I mean, it's got to be about 30 feet above you right now.
What you look at, Aldemar? You're muted.
Unmute.
God damn
I see
it!
something in the. Damn it, Bobby. I see something in the tree above me.
Yeah.
I grab my bow and arrow.
What? That very vague.
I am going to prepare guiding bolt when I see him looking up.
Grat's just going to continue with the fire. Fuck it.
Okay. It's, like I said, it's about 30, 35 feet above you. It's just perched in the tree right now. It could be eating something. You're not sure. It might have like a rat or a mouse or something in its claw.
Well, since Grot is a fat face and is eating all the pig, I'm hungry.
Eating all the bacon. Grat no share.
The damn bacon. I could eat. So, how big is this thing?
It's like I said, it's about a Cooper's hawk size. So it's like, I don't know, maybe like standing tall. Maybe it's about.
It's like a size of a crow.
Yeah, a little bit, maybe just a touch larger than a crow. About the size. Yeah, it's about right. About the size of a raven or a crow.
I have a sling.
Aren't rangers supposed to be kind to animals?
Forest rangers for the U.S. Forest Service, but not not D&D rangers.
You just big asshole ranger. Yes,
that's right, Uncle Phil.
You scare me, Aldemar.
I'm moving towards.
You should be scared.
Lupo's reading the book right now. He's not even paying attention to you guys, and neither is Blodgett. And Duncan's kind of curious as to what the hell you're looking at in the tree. But
I can't see. Can I roll perception and see if I can see what he's looking at?
Sure. Be my guest. Please do.
Fuck.
Or not.
Damn it.
I'm just looking in the tree. I know he's looking.
Oh, it's a tree.
What's up there in the tree? I see you, motherfucker.
That's right.
I
Grat's going to take a casual glance over. Can you give it a shot?
I'm squinting. I can't quite.
Yeah, give me a perception check, Grot. You can do it. Why not?
All right, I got a +1, and
Everybody
I
party.
rolled a 5, so I got a 6. So I
Everybody's
can't. I don't see shit.
And again, it's getting dark. It's like it's
plus the fire is
you're
killing
starting to
my
see
eyesight.
starlight now. So
Yeah, the fire is killing my
Alvar's
vision.
really the only one who can see it.
Mm.
And it looks like it's definitely eating something right now. You can see it picking at something that it has on the tree branch that it's.
Hopefully at home.
Every once in a while, it glances over at you, Aldemar, and then it goes back to doing what it was doing, which is eating.
Checking Aldemar out.
You have secret
Not
admirer.
the only thing that does that. They ain't the only one.
For fuck's sake.
So do the hillbillies.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot that thing out of the tree with my bow.
Okay.
Mm.
The only light that you have right now is from the campfire that Grot has lit. So that's
I relit that shit. Yeah, that's right.
Is he a half elf? Or is
No, he's human.
he- oh, okay.
19.
Okay, I'm gonna presume you didn't shoot one of your last +2 arrows because you only have 2 of those left.
Good assumption. Good assumption.
Yeah, see,
save
keep on
that.
top of those. All right, so you fire it up there. It goes pretty close to where you think it was going to be, but it's still there, and it kind of fluttered a little bit, like the wing, one of its wings kind of like fluttered a little as the arrow shot by it. It looks down at you, and then it goes back to eating again.
Bastard! I'm gonna get that thing. Well, I've used my turn, so let's.
Can I, now that he's shot it, and I know that there's something up there, can I attempt to shoot a sacred flame at it? Actually, I think sacred flame, they have to make a. Well, actually, no. I think I need to be able to see it for sacred flame to work. So maybe.
Yeah.
Sacred flame. Flame-like radiance descends on a creature that you can see. Yep.
You can't see it.
Can't use it. I can't. I just burned the whole tree down. No.
I just set fire to the whole tree.
I'm not even going to make you make a wisdom check for that, but it stands to reason that if you set the tree on fire, that might draw some attention.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Don't do that.
I don't usually give DM advice, but I think this would be the time I would give it.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
So as far as Aldemar knows, it's still up there, but it's hard to see. It's just so deep in the shadows right now that you can't really tell if it's there or it's not.
Aldemar, what is it?
I don't know. I missed it, but it is completely un.
Well, you caught what it was because the DM fucking told you.
Yeah, it's a hawk or Cooper. It's a Cooper's hawk. Look up Cooper's hawk. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's a Cooper's hawk, and I missed it very narrowly, but it did not react at all.
Can do you think it might not be a hawk?
I mean,
familiar.
That's possible. It's possible.
Aldemar, give me a wisdom check. Actually, no. Give me an intelligence check, not a wisdom check. Give me an intelligence check. I'm looking at the sheet right now too. So.
Hell, it ain't good. 1 second. 7.
Lay it on. Okay. It's definitely a hawk. All of that, and it's definitely a hawk. A small hawk. Maybe a kit falcon. Cooper's hawk. Small hawk. Definitely not an eagle. Definitely not a raven. Definitely not. Yeah, there you go. Cooper's hawk. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
See, look at that.
Oh, it looks like, almost like the red tail, but not as red.
Kind of.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like a smaller red-tailed hawk. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
We've got them every once in a while. We've got one that sits on a shed that's in the next yard, and it'll come flying down and grab lizards out of the yard, or I've seen it just grab them right off the neighbor's walls.
We actually have several of them out here in the high desert.
Cool.
In fact, that's practically everything we have.
Neat little birds. Well, not little.
They're medium sized. They're not eagles for sure.
Boyd's.
The red tail ones that we got here are decent size. I mean, when the wings are out, they're a little bit bigger.
Might have a picture.
All right, so we can't see this thing. Presumably, it's still eating and following us.
Don't know where it is right now.
Gret, finish up, wash, and brush one tooth, and Gret, turn in. You fuckers play around with whatever in tree.
Play with your birds.
What if
Play with your birds.
we baited it? Do we have any small animals we could put on a string and drag across the ground?
You guys crazy.
Supposing we had a large wooden badger.
Yeah.
Supposing we all turned in and
kind of lost interest. He's going to sleep, and
going to bed.
You already hear kind of a light snoring coming from Lupo, and as well as you think you don't know what happened to Blodgett during all of this, but he looks like he's sacked out right now. As you guys are,
we in bed.
Let me see if here's a good one. So what do you want to do, Aldemar? You're the only one that's not stacked out at this point.
God, bunch of slackers.
That's cool.
There you go.
We're fucking tired. We've been walking all goddamn day.
Exactly like that.
There you go. See, there's your nemesis, Aldemar.
Yeah, well, greyhounds look just as skinny. You ever watch that?
You could sleep too if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sleep. I'm gonna just sit there by the fire.
You have to take first watch.
I mean, as with your training, your ranger training, you only need maybe 4 hours of sleep.
All right.
You take first watch.
I'll take first watch.
Okay.
I'll take. So wake me up when you're tired.
Okay.
Wake you up before you go.
All right.
Go.
God. Put 2 drinks in.
Damn it, Bobby.
Okay. Now I need Aldemar to do a Constitution check.
Oh. Falling asleep. Wake up, goddammit.
And the result is the U.S. Constitution. Thank God. All right. Those looking good so far. Oh, it's an 18.
18. Okay, good enough. You kind of drift off as you are taking first watch. I presume you're still just in this circle right now. So as you drift off, you think you're having sort of like I want to say a lucid dream almost. And you dream that you are at the top of one of these trees and you're looking out over the hills and at the night sky at a gibbous moon, let's just say. And there's a little bit of cloud coverage in your dream. And you're looking out over what looks like the treetops right now. But it's kind of a lucid dream. Meaning you realize that you're dreaming.
Sounds like my first marriage.
You see treetops right now. And give me a wisdom check real quick. Could be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Wisdom. Total is 12.
Okay. You think in your lucid dream that you can hear kind of like scratching on the ground or something's like kind of moving around in the foliage below you as you're on top of this tree looking down at the ground below you, but you're kind of looking at the tops of the trees, and then you can also hear. You seem to have like a heightened sense of hearing as well.
Do I wake up?
It's kind of scratching in the back of your head. Well, again, you are lucid dreaming. Do you want to wake up?
Yeah.
So you will yourself to wake up, and you wake up, and you kind of like what was that? And you're looking at you find yourself, you're now woken up, and you're just looking at what's left of the fire that's sort of dying right now. And everybody, you can hear Grot snoring, and you can sort of hear Gray chanting something in his sleep.
Who's on watch?
Hey, Aldemar is.
Okay.
He's
I
fucking
pull out
sleeping.
my pipe. I pull out my pipe and I start packing the tobacco, the smoke.
Okay.
And I start puffing away. But
Okay.
I'd like to roll a perception check.
Okay.
Oh, again. 25 total.
Okay, 25 total. And what exactly are you want to look for? Anything? You're just listening or looking?
I'm just listening and looking as I smoke, because when you smoke, obviously, you're just
Well, what are you
listening.
smoking? Just pipe weed, or what do you got there? Just tobacco? Was that what I'm getting from you?
Yeah, it's tobacco. It's not the finest weed.
All right,
from
so
the South
you're
Fork.
very relaxed as a result of that. So it's not getting you high or anything. You're very relaxed as a result of that, and you kind of nod off for just a second, like you don't know how long you've been like asleep, and then you kind of wake up again, and you hear dead silence, and even Grot is just kind of like barely snoring. Everybody else is just kind of quiet. You can hear the sounds of cicadas in the forest. But as you kind of startle up out of your sleep, you see across from you, just in the embers of the fire, you see the Cooper's hawk sitting right there in front of you on a log opposite from where you're at.
That son of a bitch.
Give me another quick perception check.
So 19 plus 5, so 24.
Okay. It looks at you in the eye with those kind of orange eyes like you saw in that picture there. And then it takes off, and as quick as it can, it flies off. But as it flies off, you notice that below you, it looks like some kind of animal is laid out below you.
I draw my sword immediately.
Okay. The little animal is a rabbit, smallish rabbit, and it's dead.
It left you a gift.
Yeah, I've seen that movie before. That rabbit will bite your head off. So
Sharp, pointy teeth.
I've seen this movie before.
It is a rabbit.
I sawed my arm off. I was so scared. What's it doing?
silly salt.
So he left a dead rabbit in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
What was this, Gangs in New York?
Everyone else is completely asleep except for you.
So
And
I wake up.
making that much noise right now.
Little attraction.
I yell at Gray to wake up. Gray,
right.
wake up.
Gray wake up. He's like, what?
Yeah.
That bird visited us and left us a present, and I gesture at the dead rabbit.
Well, is it fresh?
I don't know. I don't want to touch it. I've seen this movie before.
It'd be a shame to let the meat go to waste. We'll spit through it and throw it over the fire. I'll fetch some more wood. Stoke this a little bit.
All right, I'm gonna go up to the dead rabbit.
Okay.
And put a spit through it.
Okay. It looks like a fairly fresh killed rabbit.
So apparently this bird is friendly. So we put it over. I put it over the fire, and then I kick Grot.
You do have to skin it, by the way. So I'll just let that. You figure you knew that already. So
Don't wake me till it's time to eat.
Yeah, it's time to eat, bitch.
So Grat wakes up.
Okay.
I'm skinning.
what give?
I'm skinning the rabbit and saying the bird left us a nice little meal.
And
I'm
all aboard.
Or
You
would
eat,
the fire
you eat.
stoking that?
Okay. So you cook the rabbit.
Grat has to
Yeah.
go soon.
Yeah, I'm not going to put the bunny in a pot, so don't freak out.
All right. So you just cook the rabbit. Got it. Cook it. You have some
Yeah.
rabbit meat. Eat.
Yeah.
Yum, yum.
So why would
Nice.
So my question is this: this bird left us this rabbit. Why would it do that?
Perhaps it's a spirit guide.
It's like a cat when it leaves you a mouse. You know, it's like a gift.
Yeah, but you don't eat the mouse.
You get the idea, though, TJ, right?
You would if you could.
That's right.
You mean you get the idea? Aldemar.
Well, Aldemar, Grat would eat it, but yes,
Right.
Grat
Okay.
would eat the mouse.
So it means that this bird is friendly. It'll be good. It'll be good to keep in mind moving forward. Because
especially since you had all that weird shit going on. I mean, Grat doesn't know that, but I'm talking about I as the character, as a player, know that. It's kind of cool.
Did you notice anything else about this bird?
it had like orange eyes, like not like a doll's eyes, like a shark's, but like a golden amber eye.
Golden eye.
Dun,
Unusual for that type
dun,
of-
dun, dun.
There, like that. Look at that eye. There you go.
Doesn't seem natural. Looks at you with those eyes. I found my weakness.
That's right.
Take it,
bitch.
Tina Turner.
Like,
All right, so
hey, what do you do?
golden eye.
You eat the rabbit. Now you're really kind of, oh man, you're getting tired, real tired. It's getting late.
Grat, all right. Grat had short.
You take the short watch. You take the
Grat-
watch. I'm getting tired.
Grat had short catnap. Grat watch.
Okay.
Oh, third watch. Let me know when you get tired.
We'll do.
Okay. So, Grot, you take second watch. You kind of nod off a few times, but you're okay. You don't hear anything. Drew, you take the last watch, and you nod off about 2 hours in, and so you guys are kind of sleeping, and you get on towards the morning hours, and Aldemar, while you are asleep, you dream as if you are flying yourself. Like you're in some way you're flying. And now this time you're not in a lucid dream. You are actually in a dream, and you are like seeing the tops of trees. You're seeing the moon. You're seeing hillsides. You're seeing streams as if you're flying. And I need, let's see, Drew and Aldemar. Actually, all of you guys give me a perception check real quick.
Grat, suck it. Perception. 13 for Grat. You rolled a 12.
20 for me.
Okay. You wake up first, and you wake up to the sound of a sounds like the Cooper's hawk, or it sounds like a hawk's cry, like kind of thing.
Can we tell that? Oh,
And it wakes you up, and you wake up, and now it is early morning, like the sun's just coming up, and you hear something in the underbrush. Coming, you're not really sure from which direction. It looks like it might be coming from let's see, you're going south, so it looks like it would be coming from the south, and you hear something moving through the underbrush from where you're at right now.
Is Grat awake?
Fire's out. Drew's awake, and Aldemar's awake. You're still asleep.
All right.
Can I hear something coming, or is it just?
You hear something coming through the underbrush as well. You are also woken up by the sort of the hawk's cry,
I am preparing.
and you don't see the hawk anywhere. You don't see a hawk anywhere. You just heard it, and that's what woke you up.
I'm preparing Sacred Flame.
Okay, so you're kind of groggy. You just woke up, so you can do that, but it might take you a little longer than normal. Aldemar, you need to give me a perception check as well right now. Everyone else is asleep. or they're kind of rolling around.
So 21.
Okay, you smell something. You smell something that smells kind of like, I don't know, what's some kind of animal smell, like BO, but coming from an animal. And you hear something coming from under the underbrush, and now you hear it from like 3 different directions.
Oh shit! A bear took a shit and didn't wipe.
And something's moving around.
So I pull out my bow and I knock an arrow and get it ready to fire, and it's the special, 2+. Bow the F out.
I kick Lupo a little bit. And
Lupo's like, what? So he gets up. And he's kind of rolling around. He's a little groggy, but he's like, because he's all like spooked anyway. So he gets up.
Has he practiced Sacred Flame or any other offensive?
Yeah, he doesn't know anything close to that. So
I tell him to ready your weapon, boy.
Yeah, it's already in his hand. Duncan's up too. He has a let's see, what would he have? He would have the hammer. He's got the hammer in his hand right now as well. So now you are hearing it from 4 different directions, or you're sort of picking up 4 separate individual sounds, Aldemar. It's coming from the underbrush. You can't really tell because it's kind of thick from the direction that you're looking. And now it's sort of like I said, there's enough morning light that's coming up that you can sort of see. You can make out something that's moving around in the underbrush.
I'm going to call over. Does it seem that it's coming at us from all directions?
No, well, from one particular direction, which is like from Aldemar would know this, so it would be coming from the south, and there are definitely 4 different individual sounds. And you hear what sounds like.
Which direction were we headed? Were we headed south, or were we headed?
You're headed south. Okay. You're heading that way.
I think we should go to opposite sides of the clearing. Set up an ambush.
Okay. Too late. Two wild boars burst from the undergrowth, and they come rushing at Aldemar and you. And Grot is now awake because he can smell these things.
I fired the first creature that comes
large, and they kind of charge straight up at you. So they've got surprise, except for on Aldemar because Aldemar already had an arrow knocked. So
all right, I'm firing my arrow at the first bastard.
Okay. Okay, they kind of burst past you, but they look like they were trying to kind of like gore you as they're going by, but they miss you as they go by. So you can get one shot off at one of them as it goes by, if that's what you want to do.
Now, did they miss me on purpose, or were they intentionally trying to hit me?
No, they're spooked. Something's got them like riled up or whatever. So they're definitely
something drove them towards us. Yeah,
but were they intentionally okay? But was it a stampede, or were they deliberately trying to attack me?
You don't know. It could be just them looking for food. It could be them defending territory. It could be
trying to get away.
I'm not gonna fire the arrow at them because I think they're being stampeded by people in the woods. So I'm gonna keep my arrow knocked, and I'm aiming it at the woods, waiting to see who's gonna come out.
Okay. As you do that, 2 more come out of the woods, out of the undergrowth,
and gore you to death.
And one actually clips you on the way past you, and they look like they're circling around, and they're coming back at. Let's see, one's going after Duncan. So you got hit by one, by the way. It was just a glancing hit though, so it wasn't like really terrible for you. Let's see. You take 3 points of damage, like from a tusk, as it kind of rips by like your thigh. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like the size of a wild boar, but they can actually fuck you up pretty bad.
A large dog.
Yeah. So they're kind of circling back around. They look like maybe they were foraging for food, but you can't really tell. Some of them are like 2 of them are coming back around. One of them kind of moves off in another direction. The other one missed you entirely. So there's you've counted 4 separate wild boars that have come by you right now. So you guys can give me initiative, but there's only like 2 of them that you could actually hit at this point.
18.
Okay, you're 18.
14 for Grot.
14 for Grot.
And Grot's going to yell, this not natural.
All right. And Aldemar, give me a initiative. Roll me a d20, please.
And add your initiative modifier, which should be up by your armor class.
So
Top
this
middle,
is
top
initiative.
Top middle of your sheet. Under your name there'll be like a shield for your armor class, and then another square for initiative modifier.
Roll me a d20.
So I rolled a 16.
Okay, plus your dexterity is what?
Plus 4. Plus 4.
4. So okay, so you're at 20. So you can go first. If you want to shoot one of these things, you can, or you're just gonna sort of ready yourself for something.
I'm not going to shoot one of these. I'm going to hold myself because I don't think that they were the cause of this.
Okay, Lupo actually had rolled a 19 for his initiative, so I'm going to go with him first.
Go Lupo.
Lupo takes a swing at one and misses it. They're like grease pigs, right? They slip right by you. And then Dung. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Drew, you rolled an 18.
Yep.
Yeah, you're next. What do you want to do?
I'm going to try and hit one with a Sacred Flame, and actually they need to make a saving throw. So whichever one is closest, and my wisdom or my spellcasting modifier is +7. I don't know how that
From where you're at, you might be able to catch 2 of them with that.
Okay. And then for my level with Sacred Flame, it's a 2d8 +7 for the damage if they don't make, or if they make the saving throw.
Okay. One of them actually made the saving throw. The other is on fire.
Burning pig bacon.
What is it? What's the damage that does?
So 2d8 +7, and so 9 +7, so 16.
16. Okay. Well, one of them is most definitely dead, and it's crispy. And it's kind of like it went up in flames. The other one, it's not taking any damage, but she did manage to set it on fire.
Flaming pork.
And it's running around going
Perfect.
making a huge amount of noise and making
Christ.
a lot and is casually setting things on fire as it runs through the forest. So there's 2 more. There are 2 more that are sort of right in front of Grot and Aldemar right now. So Grot, actually, you're next in line. You go ahead. What do you want to do?
All right, he's sniffing appreciatively at the burning pig, but he'll go ahead and take his great sword attack on one of the pigs.
Okay, go for it.
+8. Rolled a 13 and a 13. So 20, whatever.
Okay. Both of those miss. Because it's kind of it kind of wiggles around because remember you're trying to swing a great-handed sword on one of these things and expecting it to stay in one spot. So they're kind of rooting around and running around. So,
God, fuck.
Aldemar, I need you to give me a perception check, and Drew, I need you. Let's see, Drew, you would see it too. So go ahead, give me a perception check as well. Grot's too busy with a pig.
12 is my perception check.
Story of Grot life.
Okay.
16.
Aldemar, you think you see what looks like a humanoid figure way in the distance from where you're at, and it looks like the guy is buck naked. Like he looks furry and kind of buck naked.
What fuck?
And it's just for the briefest second you see him, and then then the guy disappears.
I thought Aaron was done with this stuff.
I thought Aaron was finished with this game. That asshole.
I'm like, Aldemar's just like, I've seen a lot of weird things in the wilderness. That kind of tops it.
Give me a wisdom check real quick.
I ain't gonna help. I rolled total of 6.
Okay, you don't think it's a hillman, put it that way. They would have had first of all, they wouldn't be coming after you, and then second of all, you don't think it's a hillman because it's not wearing any hide armor, and the guy, whatever it was, didn't have any particular weapons that you could see from where you're at.
So whose move is it now?
Actually, it is Lupo's move. Well, I shouldn't say that. Duncan gets to go. Duncan is trying to hit one of these pigs and is also missing these pigs. You notice now that Blodgett has managed to climb one of the trees that around this area, and he's getting up. He's probably about 12 feet into a tree right now. And it looks like he's like taking a short bow off of his, from out of his backpack right now. But remember, he's about 3.5 feet tall, so he could probably get mowed over by one of these things.
I call up to him. I said, "Fancy some pork?"
So he's looking, and you can see Blodgett kind of looking out over the foliage from his vantage point. He's trying to look where to kind of like spot where the pigs are. The one that's on fire is not too hard to find because it's smoking off into the distance into the underbrush. The other pigs are looking at you guys, and they kind of grunt and wail and screech for a little bit, and then they run back the way they came through the underbrush towards Eldamar, towards where the naked guy was.
We got naked men and bacon. This weird day.
Shall we try to track the wounded one down and maybe?
Gratze, move forward. We need to get to Stockade.
Well, agreed.
Diversion's not good.
Okay, so you're gonna break camp and keep going.
Yeah.
All right, Aldemar, I need you to, as you guys are moving to the south, Aldemar, I need you to do one more perception check based on, let's do wisdom on this one.
9 total.
Okay, you now know what those hoof prints were that you noticed before. The smaller hoof prints, not the mule deer ones, but the smaller ones. They're definitely wild boar of some sorts. And now you've sort of put 2 and 2 together. But you also notice there are human footprints, like bare footprints, next to where those pigs were as well.
A druid? Oh wait, he notices, not me.
Yeah, only Aldemar really knows. He's the only one who can really tell, like where the. I mean, you could point it out if you want to, Aldemar. Unmute yourself.
So where are they coming from again? I know.
From the direction where the pigs came at you in the morning.
Where the boots came at us. Okay. So the hooves are coming from the same place as the boots. Okay. So I turn to Gray and say, over there, the hooves, marks, from Stampede, coming from the same area as the footprints.
Do you think somebody might have driven them towards us or ordered them towards us intentionally?
Yes, it could have been the hill people, or it could have been someone else. There was some weird, crazy, naked dude who appeared for a moment and then disappeared. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he never got over the 70s. It's possible. Things happen.
All right, you guys travel for
We're streaking.
You travel for another. You travel for another 3 days. Get to where you have seen very obvious. See the stockade in front of you. Over the course of the last day that you encounter where the stockade is, you realize that you've managed to avoid 2 patrols of hobgoblins. No encounters, no fights or anything, but you do know that there are definitely patrols in the woods it extends probably about 3 miles to 5 miles out from where the stockade is. So you're figuring they probably don't go any further than that. And Gray, actually, yeah, all you guys, you get the impression that some of the hobgoblins that are there, you can't understand a word they're saying because none of you actually speak hobgoblin, but but you get the impression that either they're bored or they're scared of something. When you are sort of like listening to them, you're just spying on them, I guess.
If I'm able to go with Aldemar to spy, if we know what their routes are or know what their routes are that they're going along, I can cast the language or the tongues on him or
tongues
myself when there's a patrol nearby. Maybe follow and listen in.
You can do that. I'll give it to you. You get the impression. You get the impression they don't really talk about anything other than why they're complaining and griping about why they have to be on patrol duty and how they don't want to be out there at night and pretty much how they're bored. And occasionally you hear something about gambling or throwing dice or drinking.
How many are usually in each patrol?
Anywhere between 10 and about 15. So they come in pretty decent numbers. But that's actually been able because of that, you've been able to sort of hear them before they get to you.
How many are there?
Anywhere between 10 and 15.
Are they patrolling
ahead of us?
In a lot?
No. I'm just saying like the patrols that you've managed to avoid up to this point.
Gotcha. No, the ones that are ahead that we hear talking, how many of them are there?
As I said, the patrols are anywhere between 10 and 15. So I'd say a dozen.
All right.
And, from what you can hear, they're griping about being on patrol. They don't want to be on patrol.
Gotcha. Should we try to fool them? Like I'm a half orc. I could be a slaver.
Probably don't want to give away your position, particularly when you got a halfling with you.
Fuck him. All right. Grats stay hidden.
They don't really stick around long enough for you to form any kind of plan anyways. Most of them, you do notice this though. You notice that they are armed and definitely armed. Most of them have halberds. Some of them you think they have long swords or either short swords or long swords, and they wear armor as well. They're wearing like scale mail armor, and it doesn't
they're fully equipped.
Ass orc armor. It looks like it's maintained. Yeah, like that. So, from what you can gather of their conversations, whenever you encounter a patrol, and I'm just going to presume you're as careful as you can be so that you're not giving away your position. Again, like I said, they're concerned with the spooks in the forest and the throwing dice at the stockade when they're going to get rations, and complaining about they don't want to be on patrol duty. And sometimes they'll fight amongst themselves because they think that they got the patrol duty because somebody screwed up. So anyway. You guys get to the front of where the stockade is right now. I'm going to read you the description of what the stockade looks like, and then you guys can go from there. Duncan already knows at least the front wall section of it. It's a curtain wall. I'll explain it to you here in a second. The fort is situated atop a high, steep hill that surveys the countryside. There is a warding ditch about 20 feet wide and 10 feet deep, and it surrounds the fort, the entirety of the fort. The only access road winds down from the north through a valley up to a drawbridge that spans the ditch, that 20-foot ditch, like I said. The hill fort is a combination of recent construction and remains of an older stone fortress, possibly something from the old world. Remember, I was telling you guys are sort of in this post-apocalyptic thing. Very similar to the temple that you guys were in the last adventure. It looks as if there's been new construction built on an old ruins, but in this case, it's like a stockade, or it's some kind of. It looked like it might have been some sort of fortress of the old world. Okay, so you have that. Let's see what else do I have here. The outer wall of the hill fort is an earthen rampart topped by a wooden stockade. That's the new build. However, the curtain wall containing the drawbridge is made of stone. The wall is 35 feet high and is topped by a stone parapet on either side. There's two of them. which is constantly manned. You see figures moving back and forth at the top of the parapet up there. You don't know whether or not they are human, but you're guessing they're probably hobgoblins because that's all you've encountered up to this point.
The trench around it is empty, right? There's no water in it.
You can't tell from where it is right now, but it doesn't look like there's any water. It might be mud. There might be like slops or something is thrown out into it, but that's about the best you can tell. Okay, so let's see. Oh, the curtain wall is also is connected to the rest of the fort by the rampart and the stockade. Okay. The ground slopes upward from the curtain wall and some distance back across what looks like a wide area from, well, you can't really see it from this side because you're from where you're looking at it right now. It's basically this big stone kind of wall masonry work lined with wood. And then from past that wood is more stone and it looks like more buildings. That looks like more like a castle construction. So it's stone from the wood part back. So anyway, it's a keep basically. It's not like I don't want to call it a castle because it's not really a castle. It's a keep, right? So
yeah.
It's like a fortress kind of thing, or like a stockade is what they call it.
Keep on the borderlands.
Yeah, sort of like that.
Yeah.
Let's see. The rampart and the stockade connect to the gatehouse and surround the fort keep. The keep abuts the rampart on 3 sides. Okay, so the south side, the west, and the east side. You imagine the east side because you're approaching it from the opposite end. So you can see the back of it. The back of the keep is actually all stone, but in the front it's wood and like a new build on the wood. And in the very front of it is what's called the curtain wall. And the curtain wall has the 2 parapets and it's made out of stone. And then built onto that is looks like a fortified wood that's there. Okay. So the keep abuts the rampart on 3 sides. Let's see. So it looks as if there are, going back, you can see along the wall at the top, there's some sort of walkway that's on the top there there you see figures kind of moving back and forth. You can see the tips of halberds that look very similar to the patrol halberds that you saw. So obviously there are guards on the top of it. Let's see. What else can I tell you about this? Oh, okay. The rampart and stockade surround the fort to the west, the south, and the east sides and join the curtain wall to the north. The outer face of the walls and stockade are fitted with downward sloping spikes from what you can see to prevent attackers from scaling the walls. The stockade looks like it has a walkway, obviously, because you can see the guys on the top there. The walkways are 15 feet above the main building's first floor. So for a total of like 20 and then 15 above. So it's about 35 feet up from where you're at. Guards patrol the walkways and the top of the gatehouse and the curtain wall areas, but it is impossible to estimate the numbers from the distance where you guys are observing all of this from, because you're like sort of in the forest right now trying to get a good look at this. And then finally, the last thing is Duncan explains that he escaped that fort by coming out through the curtain wall, by coming out through the front parapet area. And he had come out of the top of that by sort of shimmying along the walkway so that he could make a loose rope out of curtains and clothing. And you notice that the rope of the clothing is still there.
I was going to that was my next question. Yeah.
The rope is the rope he made, the makeshift rope he made is still there. And he can't believe his luck.
We wait till night and cross and climb.
Yeah. So the makeshift rope from the curtain walls, it looks like it's coming from the second story. It extends down to what looks like towards where about the ditch is. So it's still there, and he's like kind of dumbfounded, like, how is this even still there? It was like weeks ago that he escaped, but the thing is still there.
What we wait for under cover of darkness.
Yeah, I was going to say, you probably will have to go at nighttime.
Yeah.
And as I said last time, or the night before, the moon is in sort of its gibbous stage, so it's not quite full, but it's enough that you can see. And let's see one more thing here.
I have an idea.
So you guys are it's getting on towards nightfall. It's in the late afternoon, and Gray says he has an idea.
What if we set a few traps, large pit traps, and we could set a fire in the distance in the opposite direction that we plan to approach from, with a very slow burning fuse so that it will not light up until we have already made our way into position, so that when the fire goes up and they see the smoke, they send some people out. It could serve as a distraction for the guards if it's a large enough fire. When we notice the attention is on the fire, we could go in.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Blodgett says, that sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
He says, I agree with the big guy. He says,
get it.
He says,
we could light the halfling on fire and send him running across the
yeah, very funny, asshat. He says, I can be up that wall before your fat ass even gets to the ditch.
I know. We dress the halfling.
He call you fat ass.
The front door.
He says, it's not a problem. I'll get you in.
I like this guy.
How do you propose to do that?
He says, I'll climb the wall. I'll climb that cloth. You guys won't be able to go. Then I'll throw a rope down to you.
Let's we one at a time sneak across and wait for rope from halfling.
So is that the plan? Is that what you want to do? Aldemar, is that what you want to do?
Let's do that.
Duncan says that sounds like a good idea. Seems like the best idea.
Let's do that.
Duncan knows how he can get back. And Duncan is a little bit. You guys notice that Duncan is not quite as like happy-go-lucky about this, because he's like, it took me forever to break out of this place, and now I got to break back into it. So,
you don't have to go. You can stay if you want.
Madam, who is it? Madam so-and-so he's after.
Morwen Elisar.
Oh, Morwen.
Lady Morwen.
Lady Morwen.
No, he's going to go with you for sure.
All right. Good man.
All right. So you guys get to the point where it's dark enough. You manage to get up to the ditch right there. Like I said, it's 20 feet wide. It definitely has mud and slops of some sort that have been thrown out into it, but it's just basically, it's not meant to like drown you or anything like that. You can actually run across the ditch if you want to. And again, it's only about 10 feet deep, but it kind of ramps down and then it ramps back up again.
I have a spell, the water walk. So if it's mostly water or slop in there,
it's just slop. It's not it's not water. It's not anything you would need to. You would need a spell to get across it. You can walk across it. It's just going to get your boots a bit muddy.
Okay.
All right. So you guys get down to the bottom of the wall, and it's just enough light that you can sort of hide in shadows. Actually, Eldemar, give me I need dexterity checks from you real quick.
Um, 20.
20? Good enough. All right, so with the help of Blodgett and the help of Aldemar, you guys managed to get to right at the base of the rampart where the what's left of the rope, the makeshift rope, I should say. It's really curtains and clothing and shirts and stuff that's been tied.
Curtains for you, Rocky.
And Blodgett grabs onto it and looks kind of left and right, and then he sort of shimmies up it and sort of like Batman, like the old Batman,
nice.
Kind of works his way up, and surprisingly quick. He's got bare feet, as you might guess, and sort of works his way up there. And he gets in through what looks like it might be an arrow slit, or it's some sort of opening in the side of the stone wall. Now, remember, you guys are in the front of this thing, so you're in the curtain wall area where the parapet is. There are patrols on top, but from where you're at, it's doubtful that they could see you because they're looking out over. They're not looking downward from where you're at, and most of them don't seem like they want to be there in the first place. So, with that said, about 2 minutes after Blodgett gets in through the stone entry, or I want to call it an arrow slit, but it's a very wide arrow slit, works his way in, a rope. Which is, I should say, 2 ropes because he had to tie 2 together. So it throws the rope down to you guys, and there, it looks like as if you could climb it pretty well because he's taken the time to actually put knots in it so you guys can get handholds as you're going up.
Nice.
That's
So
very
who
friendly.
wants to go first?
Grat, go first.
Okay, you can see Blodgett's head sticks out of the side of the wall, and he's looking at you guys like he's not saying anything. He's just kind of like,
I'm coming up. So Grat's gonna
go first. Okay,
he's got a good strength, so he's good.
What kind of armor do you have on?
I've got my leather.
Leather armor. Okay, good enough.
Actually, no, not leather. Chain. I'm sorry. I got chainmail. Leather's underneath my chainmail, so I have piecemeal chainmail.
Okay. Give me a strength check.
All right.
This will be easy for you, unless you really flub it.
14 plus whatever. 14 plus 5.
Plus 5. Okay.
19.
Good enough. Okay, you make it up to the top. The arrow slit or the entry where the rope is kind of hanging out of. It looks as if it's like been chipped away, so it's just barely big enough for you to sort of squeeze your bulk through, and you kind of roll into this. What looks like a stone hallway. And the only light that's coming from anywhere is the moonlight that's coming through the arrow slits at this point.
All right. So I have infravision, so I can still see a little bit.
You can still see from where you're at. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
And so who wants to go next?
And I'll help anyone else up using the rope. I can hold the rope.
Let's put Lupo up.
You want Lupo to go next? Lupo will make it easy because he's much lighter and he's only wearing padded armor. Okay. Yeah, no problem. He works his way up, and he actually the only thing that's really kind of weighting him down at this point is just the pack, and he's got the bullseye lantern. He's got the pole kind of slung across his back there, as if hopefully he won't need it, but right now he's just sort of holding the lamp. So he gets in, no problem. Who wants to go next?
Oh,
You want to go? Okay, give me a strength check.
5.
Okay, you're having trouble getting at. What kind of armor are you wearing?
I am currently wearing.
Banded?
That's funny.
I think I'm in. Hold on a second. Where is it? Combat. Studded +1 armor.
Studded armor.
I don't see what cloak is on here. I don't know how to equip it with the software.
Jesus Christ.
All right, give me one more strength check. You're halfway. You're kind of like getting fatigued. But go ahead. Give me another one.
Yeah.
What's that?
10.
10.
Oh my God.
So you get up there. Grot. He looks like he's having trouble. You're gonna have to help him in.
All right. Grot lean down as far as wherever he did. Try to bring him back up.
Okay. So, Grot, you pull him through.
Pull you up. Come here, you. Pain in the ass.
Long behind me. Thank you, Cross.
You're welcome.
Duncan, Duncan is ahead of. Unless you want to go next, Aldemar. Do you want to go up next?
I'm good. I'll wait.
I'm gonna wait here in the bottom.
Duncan goes up, and okay, he's good. He doesn't need any help. He gets through to the top, and now you're the last one on the ground right now, Aldemar.
All right, I'm gonna go.
All right, I need you to give me a strength check, please.
Uh, 19.
19. Good enough. You get up all the way to the top, and you are now inside a what looks like about a 10-foot wide hallway here. But it looks as if this was part of the old construction of the. I'm gonna actually share my screen here real quick. Hang on 1 second.
Cool. You like the visuals?
Yeah.
The visuals.
That's Duncan. Do you recognize any of this?
Duncan Cheek.
Okay. You guys are, let's see if I can get this. You guys are right about here in this area right here. This is what the ground level that you came up, but you are in what looks like a, I don't know, a battlement of some sorts. And I will read it to you here. Okay, you stand in a narrow, dusty corridor. There is a door at the eastern end of the corridor, which is, now you can see, is over here. So there is a door.
Mask layer and the erase is just perfect for this.
This is cool, yeah.
So you guys are right about here. I don't have any. You don't need any icons for today because I only got 15 more minutes. But so let's. You guys are right about here. There's a door at the end. You have just climbed up the crude rope, or the rope that that Blodgett has sent down to you. The window was once used to throw slops and night soil out into the warding ditch, which is where you just this ditch right here that you just came across.
Poop shoot.
Yes,
pretty much.
But it appears to have been some time since the window or this room has seen any kind of active use. Cobwebs cover the ceiling and the walls. There is a single line of footprints in the dust made by a naked human foot. They lead from the east to the end of the window. The only light in the room comes from the shafts of moonlight filtering through the window and the arrow slits spaced every 10 feet that are cut in each wall.
Be careful of those. Where we go? The door?
So this is where you came in. Let's see. This right here is where you came in.
All right, right by that slit.
Either side of you. And then there's the door that's over here. And as I said, it's dusty, cobwebby in. And there's a line of footprints that are leading away from the door. So they're leading towards, Aldemar, you can tell that they're leading towards this slops exit right here, which you guys just came through.
Smell bad.
They look like they were made probably weeks ago.
What now? Follow footprints?
Yeah.
We're gonna like Scooby Doo it.
Zoinks?
Raggy.
Rogan.
So what do you want to do?
So we're up on this parapet, and no one has seen us.
The door and see if there's any noise beyond it. Sounds like there's anybody.
Yeah, see, let's have Blodgett check that out.
Okay, Blodgett goes up to the door and he starts listening to it. It's dead silent. He just looks back at you. He's not saying anything. He just kind of shakes his head like,
Small halfling is door locked. Is door locked?
Drew, I need you to give me an intelligence check.
Oh, 19. Let me see what my modifier is. I'm actually pretty smart, so I should have intelligence. Oh, +1, so 20. Actually, I put all my stuff in wisdom, so my intelligence is 12. My wisdom's 19.
So here's the thing: is clearly you guys are in this sort of battlement right here with arrow slits, and then the doors right there. You get kind of a creepy, creeped out feeling, and you look over at Lupo, and he's kind of like got the willies kind of thing, you know, like it's just like ooh, you know. Nobody else gets that feeling, but you do, and you think maybe Lupo is too.
Okay, does it bring any like a deja vu? Is there something that I can tie it to? Is it just a general feeling, or does it call something?
Just a general feeling of unease. Let's just say.
Yeah, I just tell everybody we should be cautious. I have a bad feeling about it.
A bad feeling about that.
I have a very bad feeling about this.
Maybe
again, it's kind of creepy because you don't have any firelight or anything. You don't have a torch or anything like that.
I'm a little fuzzy on the whole good bad thing.
And the only light that's coming in through this, the very little light that's coming through is filtering through those arrow slits.
Right. Take a sniff at that door. Do you smell anything?
All right, so Grot's got he's like the nose of the group. So Grot goes up to the door and So I'm gonna roll. You mind if I roll a perception here? Let's see what happens.
Go ahead.
A natural fucking 20.
You smell just mildew, right?
All right.
Like maybe fungus or something like that. Nothing terribly. You don't. No, nothing biological. Put it that way.
Just
Blodgett looks over at you, Gray, and he says, "Why did you keep it down?"
Just smelled like
Because
it smelled like moldy cheese.
He points up like that because there's a story above you as well.
Smell like moldy cheese. No, nothing else. Just moldy, musty.
So you guys are kind of congregated right in this area, right about. Oops, you guys are in this area right about here.
By the door. Yeah.
Is it stone above us or is it wood plank?
It's stone above you. Yes.
Okay. That'll muffle the sound. I mean, respectively.
Yeah. The flooring below you now is wood, but the ceiling above you is stone.
Oh, the flooring is wood. Okay. One Grat open door. Grat.
What are you doing? What do you want to do?
Unmute yourself and tell us.
Oh! I thought you said Grok.
No. Aldemar, what do you want to do?
I'm just.
You see them congregated around this area. You're right around the mid.
You're like in the middle of this.
So I'm just gonna watch, but I got my hand on my sword hilt.
Okay, where are you watching?
Where am I?
Everywhere.
For whatever reason. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Where am I again? The mouse is a little hard.
You're about right here. I don't know if you can see my.
Yeah, I can see it now. Okay, gotcha. And where are they?
They're all congregated up towards the door.
Okay. So I'm gonna move up closer to them.
Okay. All right. So you move up there. You're right about to these arrow slits right here. And the only thing you can see is just these guys looking at the door right now. The door is not locked. It looks as if it looks pretty dusty from this side, as if no one's come through here in a while, although the footprints lead up to the door, or I should say lead away from the door. Footprints lead from the door to here, to that exit right there. So it's likely that this could be an escape route for slaves, or you don't know, but it looks like there's like human footprints leading from the door all the way down to this where you just came in.
There's only one way to find out what's on the other side of that door.
There's only one way to go. Grat open door.
Okay, Grat's gonna open the door. You kind of wedge it open a little bit.
Yeah, Grat open door. Look
into this area right in here.
Grat say, "Fuck this."
This is what
we waste time.
You see,
big room with stairwell.
Okay, you guys move in here, and this room appears to once have been a guard room, but has been long abandoned. There's a door opposite the door you just used to enter. In the south end of the room, along the south wall, are stone stairs leading up and down. So let's actually reveal the rest of these things here. There we go. And remember, it's very dark in here. The only light that's shining through is from
the moon.
Through those slots right there. Those
Lupo light lantern.
Stone stairs that are leading up and that are leading down. And let's see. Leading up and down. The ceiling and the walls of this room are covered with dusty cobwebs, and shards of brittle white material litter the floor. Broken furniture lies scattered about. A line of footprints in the dust reaches from the door to the stairs. So now you guys are, with the exception of Aldemar, are Almar, you're still in the hallway here, so you're still in the hallway right here. These guys have kind of moved in here. There's some bones, and there's some kind of brittle white material litters the floor.
I think we should check above us before we go down so that nothing comes behind us and surprises us later.
Okay. So as you guys are kind of moving into this room, Blodgett looks down at the floor and you realizes that the white material is splintered bone. He also is pointing out to you, he's not saying anything to you guys. He's trying to like not use any words from where you're at. So the regularly talkative Blodgett is also pointing to what look like brown stains on the walls, on the floor, and it looks like there might be some pieces of broken furniture around this room. And as I said, there is a where'd it go? There we go. Here. And there is a door that's right there, and there's stairs up and stairs down.
So we're all in the room now, or
We're all in that room right now. Yeah. And there's stairs that go down and stairs that go up.
Where do the stairs go? They go up. Do we remember when we were looking at the stockade from the outside what the general look of it, like the keep was, how many more layers or levels there were?
There's definitely an upstairs and there's a downstairs from where you're at. This is like the second floor, and you get this. Duncan tells you this, so you guys you would know this already. Duncan tells you that there's a he thinks that there's a courtyard beyond the inside of that, but he only knows enough that he is like sort of was able to go around the edge of the guardrail and then make it over to here. In fact, he's curious. He says the footprints are probably either mine or they're from other slaves that have used this as an escape route.
Grat not smart, but maybe up is where important people are.
This hasn't been. Do they patrol this? Do they check?
Doesn't look like it.
Does Blodgett sense anything?
Blodgett's kind of listening right now. He can hears. You can tell he hears something because sometimes he points up, like to keep it down because he doesn't want to give away your position.
Maybe we go up and kill what is up there.
We should probably try to get an idea of how many are up there first, so that if it's one or two, we might be able to overwhelm them, subdue them quickly enough to prevent them from raising the alarm. But if there are several, the noise could attract unwanted attention. If only Sled were here.
Fuck that guy.
He was very good with the stabby murder thing, though.
That's true. He on another mission.
Have you ever assassinated anyone?
Who, Blodgett?
How good are you?
I only ever killed people who deserved it.
Yes, but
that's a lot of people.
A lot of people. They had it coming. Every one of them, they had it coming.
We could kill everybody.
But before we try this, I need to know that we can count on you in a fight.
I'm strangely comfortable with it.
I'm strangely comfortable with it.
You can trust me. Trust me.
We're sort of like 7-Eleven. We're not always doing business.
I haven't said you wrong yet. And he's trying to. He's like, keep it down, man. Keep it down.
We be quiet as I rattle around in my chainmail.
So you see Blodgett listening at this door over here.
Does he hear anything?
He doesn't hear anything. The only thing you hear occasionally is like a footfall on the stone above you. Because again, the next story above you, you definitely know there's guards up there.
guards a lot, or does it sound like there might be a few?
From what you could tell, there's at least 4 above from what you were counting as you came in. So you guys are in this room. He's listening to this door, and he's listening at the door, and he looks at you and he at all of you, and he goes. He's pointing at the door, like he's saying to you, "I don't hear anything behind this door."
Yeah, we should probably avoid.
Go upstairs. He burps from his bacon.
So this is the stairwell. This is the door. You guys are sort of congregating in here. Aldemar, you're right about here. Are you going in too?
If we are going to do this, we must
consult the oracle.
Consult the bones.
Overwhelm them as quickly as possible so they cannot raise the alarm. Oh boy.
Well, Greg can pull out his two-handed sword and rush them.
So you got a stairwell here. You got a stairwell going up, and you guys are right here, so you can just see that there's stairs right there, and then you've got the doors right here.
So the door, nothing. We hear nothing from the door, and we've closed the door behind us. Okay. And do we hear anything coming from downstairs?
No, nothing whatsoever. It's very silent. If it's eerily silent, because you guys are inside this stone sort of guardhouse right now. And this is like the base of the parapet of one of the 2 parapets of the wall that you're in right
now. I have an idea, and I don't know if this is going to work. There's guards, right? Can we hear what they're saying?
No. You don't hear any. Only occasionally do you hear a footfall above you, and barely muffled. Again, above you is stone. So. So you guys are right here. You notice the stairs is going down. There's stairs going what looks like they might be going up. You can't really tell because it's kind of in darkness over here, and there's a door right here. Let's say Duncan is kind of looking out here, kind of looking to see if there's anything going on down at the drawbridge or anything. He's looking through the arrow slits from what he could see. You get a pretty good vantage point from those arrow slits looking out to what's out here, but you don't see any patrols or anything right now. Again, it's dark. And there's no light in this room right now except for the moonlight that's coming through those arrow slits, and also there's some slits of light coming through this wall right here, down here.
Is that artificial light, or is that the moonlight?
No, it's moonlight. It's definitely moonlight.
Okay. So there's some kind of courtyard out that way. Huh. Okay.
Can Blodgett fit out and climb up, and maybe a window he can peek in that's up above?
In which one? In these? Out of these?
Can he fit in one on the? Well, I can't.
One of the slots. One of the slots.
He probably could.
I asked him, Blodgett, do you think you could go out and then toss a rope up and see if he could climb up and look in any windows, see what's going on above us?
He'll go out to this one right here. He kind of shimmies his body like halfway out and looks up, and he comes back and he just goes. It's way too high from where he's at. There's nothing to throw a rope up to from where he's at. Remember, this is sheer stone wall right here, and it goes up another 15 feet from where you guys are at. So,
yeah, that's kind of not good.
So he looks at you and he says, "There's gods up there." You already know there's guards up there. You saw them when you were coming in.
If we kill guard now, we not worry about them later.
So you guys are right in this area right here.
Yeah, maybe we lure them down here. Because they only come down maybe 1, 2 abreast. Yes, Gratner the word abreast. 1 or 2 abreast as they come down, then we have advantage.
We can take their uniforms and any keys they may have on them,
Exactly. You read Grat mind.
Drew, give me a wisdom check real quick.
Fuck.
13.
Okay. You still have that feeling of unease, but you notice that Lupo looks like he's cold, like he's shivering. But you don't know if he's shivering or if he's like he's got the he's kind of spooked again. Yeah, it's how Lupo gets, right?
I'm getting a bad feeling about this again. Lupo. Boy, are you okay?
Yeah, he says, yes, Father. I'm just it's very here.
Is that where's that coming from? Do we know?
Remember your lessons. Palor will guide you. He won't let any harm come to his faithful.
Okay, what do you do? Let's see. Aldemar, what are you doing right now?
I'm just hanging out with these guys, waiting to see what they're gonna do.
Okay, so you're right about in the center of the room, Grot. I don't know where you are. Where you want to be, Grot?
I'm over by the stairs that are leading up. I'm at the
All
base
right,
of those.
here we go. Grot, when you get over to the stairs, the stairwell is dimly lit by moonbeams flickering through the arrow in the south wall right here. Okay.
All right.
You notice that the upper parts of the stairs going up has been bricked up. At the foot of the stairs, partially hidden in darkness, is a barely discernible wooden door at the base of the bottom here.
All right, so I
dark. So down here you can see, like, sort of in the darkness, there's a door down here at the bottom.
All right. So as quietly as I can, at top of stairs is small. Bottom.
The stairs going up is bricked up. Going down there, you can just barely make out a door at the very base of the steps.
All right. Stairs going up are bricked up. No way out. Stairs going up is bricked up, unless there be secret door. Stairs going down is small door. It seemed like we only have one way to go.
All right.
Bueller.
You've got this door here. There's a door at the base of these. The upstairs one is bricked up. Looks like it's been like mortared up from this side or from the top. You can't really tell.
How about we check door first just to be sure, and then ultimately
this door is
downstairs.
not okay. Blodgett tells you this door is not locked. You got
open
down to the bottom here, so I'm just assuming you're right around here. Correct?
Yeah. Blodgett, open door and look.
Okay. In here or here?
Door. Where we are, Dave, right there. Yeah.
This one. Okay.
Yeah.
So he pushes it open. It kind of it shoves. He has enough strength to push through a little bit. And let's see.
I'm
looking for. This is what.
What fuck?
Okay,
that's cool. Fuck more.
That there's a little bit. He can just see barely in through it. Do you want him to go in? He'll go in.
Is light in there and noise? No light and noise.
There's light. There's moonlight coming through from there.
Go through if you hear no noise.
Okay, so Blodgett goes in. And he gets to about here. Do you guys want to follow Blodgett, or you want to go? What do you want to do?
We follow Blodgett.
We'll follow him.
All right. So Blodgett
it
looks like a gatehouse here. What's in this?
New room. That what? There we go. What are those dark things in the center?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
This here. Okay, so you guys move into this room, or I don't know who's going in.
Grat and Blodgett will go in room.
Okay, this room appears to once have been used. Oh, excuse me. No. Where's it? Okay. This room appears to once have been used for warding off invaders who had broken through the gate in the old world and were pouring through the passage below. So you can see down below.
Oh, fucking murder holes.
Like
Yeah,
a,
pouring stuff on them.
Get the
yes.
murder holes there.
You see
For
anything down there?
the passage below, for there are murder holes in the floor for pouring oil on invaders. Opposite the door used to enter is another door. The room is dusty and filled with cobwebs. There are no discernible footprints in the dust this time. The room is only lit by what little moonlight filters through the arrow slits, and a thick paste of dust coats the floor.
And footprints in dust?
No, none. There are no footprints in the dust.
So nobody's been through here.
Maybe we keep going. Does Lupo hear anything from that door over there?
You want Lupo? Okay, Lupo goes over and listens to the door, and he says, he doesn't hear anything.
How about Blodgett, that little bastard?
Blodgett pushes Lupo out of the way. And he's listening. He doesn't hear anything. He signals that he doesn't hear anything.
Open door.
Okay, so what you can tell from this room right now is the room is basically empty. There's several murder holes in the floor, and you can see through the murder holes. If you poke your eyes just down, you can see between them the drawbridge and what looks like a passage that goes from the drawbridge sort of under. It's like an arch that goes through the gates there. Okay. Also, you see that there are chains and pulleys for raising the portcullis, and the drawbridge are in this room as well. So you notice that there are some mechanics and some like a winch kind of thing that's over there. They would be right around like on these two sides right here. So there's some kind of winch. It looks like the chains are dusty as well. Okay. In this corner of the room, like right up in this corner here, you will see that there is, let's see. In one corner of the room is an old wooden cask, which contains about an inch of rancid black oil. Beneath the cobwebs against the wall is a collapsed rusty iron tripod as well. The dust in this room clings to a residue of split oil, which obviously you can tell that that's murder holes there. And as again, the paste on the floor is some kind of mixture of dust and what's left of that oil. All right, so let's see. Lupo puts his ear against the door and is trying to listen, and so is Blodgett as well. And Lupo's eyes go really big as he's listening to the door. Like you can see the whites of his eyes gray from where in the moonlight. He's just kind of like,
I ask, what do you hear, boy?
He's all, this is spooky. He goes, I don't know. And he can just faintly hear what he tells you. I can hear moaning or something. And then Blodgett goes, keep it down. And even Blodgett can hear some kind of like moaning or wailing or something. Not real, very, very faint, almost like a whisper.
We don't hear it though.
No, you guys don't hear it. Okay. Only Lupo, because they put their ears to the door and they were listening.
We obviously see their reaction. What here?
Let me Grot, what's your wisdom score?
Oh fuck, bad. I only have a +1. I have a 13, so let me roll.
That's all I need to know.
I rolled an 18 plus
you don't
1.
Have to, you don't have to roll. I just need the number.
Okay.
And I know what's Gray's wisdom is what, 16, 18?
My wisdom is 19.
19, cool. So you're good. And Aldemar, what's your wisdom score?
My wisdom score, let's see, it's +2, but do you want me to roll again?
No, just what's the number?
Just straight up number.
Oh, sorry, it's 15. My bad.
15.
My bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you and Gray, you start to feel like maybe you're being watched. Or something is like looking at you.
All right. What are we going to do?
You guys are right there right now. There is light coming through each of these arrow slits on either side of you from the moonlight. Duncan's kind of looking around, and Duncan is the only one
looking, or can we actually make out a presence or see?
No, you just feel something. Duncan looks through this side here and sees the downstairs sort of. You can see just a little bit of this area.
I say, Blodgett, go in there and see if you can see anything. But be careful.
Okay, so you want Blodgett to go through the door? He goes. So he pushes the door. It's kind of jammed, and he's having a little bit of trouble pushing on it. But it's kind of just scratching the stone. And let's see. And he sees the other guardhouse that's on this side over here. So he pokes his head in this way, and he can see what looks like maybe some furniture of some sort in here. And so he can see about this far in the moonlight. So do you want him to go in, or do you guys want to go in? What do you want to do?
Well, boys,
I got to go in a minute. So let's you want to just get into this next one?
Can we shine a light in there just to see what we can see?
You could, but there's lights already coming through the arrow slits in the front there. There is definitely light, and there's moonlight coming through, just like all the other rooms.
Well, let go in.
All right, Grot, you have to lead.
I will Grot lead and open door.
Okay, so you kind of wedge and push your way in again, and here you get to about this far in.
And we see desk.
Okay.
Any food? Correct.
All right, so you move your way into this place. Okay, this room appears to once have been used as a guard room, not unlike the other one you just came in from. About the room are broken benches and tables. In one corner lies the ribs and iron rings of a sundered barrel. Okay. The furniture shows signs of having been hacked apart. The ceilings and walls are coated with dusty cobwebs, and shards of brittle white material litters the floor. Again, shadows in the room are deep and velvety, despite the arrow slits and the lights coming through. There is a door in the opposite wall, while to the south of the room appears to be a closet of some sort.
Shall we, Grad say, go in room and stay here until next game?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So this is where you guys are at right now.
Cool.
In this guardhouse.
Nice.
So that's where we'll pick it up.
Okay.
Next time.
Excellent. And next game will be every other week, so it'll be the end of the last Wednesday in March, which will be the 31st. That good for you guys?
Sure.
Works.
All right, guys.
Cool. All right, gentlemen, everyone, thank you again.
St. Patrick's Day.
Exactly. And the end of St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, yes.
Yep.
And everyone, this has been Masculine Geek number 111, the live stream D&D game session 16, and TJ has his nutcracker firmly settled in his lap, a very appropriate place. So everyone in the chat, thank you for joining us. Everyone watching now, just during this last 2 hours and later on, thank you so much for joining us. Until next game, keep that fire burning and keep the lead flying down range, and we'll see you soon.
Don't take any 1 nickels.